Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of LostinTranslationmon. This time we're covering Digimon Ghost Game Episode 8, Nightly Procession of Monsters. Because we needed to do wacky races and Cake's 1996 banger The Distance once more. Because of course we did.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm May, and I'm joined by the lovely Quinn.
Hi.
And of course the equally lovely Chloe.
Hello.
So before we get into the discussion, a brief synopsis just to make sure that everyone's recapped. So humans are experiencing frequent road accidents, and this is caused by a race amongst Digimon. Ruri brings the group to a go-kart track, and one of the races, Systemon CL, shows up. The group join the race and learn that Metal Phantomon is wiping out racers who do not follow the rules, and they also learn that their partner Digimon are now also entered in the race to go the distance. They're racing for speed. Ruri says that she'll trade her fast kart, after making it sound like this is the strongest and fastest, for CL's if CL deals with Metal Phantomon. But the gang all start to slow down. Fortunately, Black Tailmon appears again, opens a gate, and then vanishes, as Black Tailmon is known to do. Alright, so before we dive into the discussion, I'm going to learn you a thing, because I don't think y'all know the significance of CL showing up at all? Have you seen this Digimon before?
I've come across it on the Digimon wiki, but I believe it was only a card or something.
Okay, so the significance of Systemon Seal is that this is actually an America exclusive Digimon.
Really?
So Systemon Seal actually was a censor for Systemon Noir, who was a nun with a gun.
Yeah, she
So-
was basically just Bayonetta.
It was so good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just straight up Bayonetta, but in the American release of Digimon Cyber Sleuth, Noir was replaced with CL, so instead of being a nun's outfit, it's kind of like this little blue mouse outfit.
Okay, but it's
And it was-
absolutely still basically a nun outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the
A habit,
Citramon
that's what it's called.
Yeah, the habit, the habit is what it's wearing, but it's a little mouse one.
But
And
she
this
kept
is
the
basic-
habit.
Yeah, she kept the habit of being a nun with a gun, but just was blue this time. But yeah, so
She
it's
was a lesbian with a sword this time.
Yep.
It was different.
yeah, it was different with a car also, but it's just kind of it's really surprising that we got this American exclusive, because in the version that I played, because I played the Australian European version, I got Noir, so I didn't actually get to have CL.
Okay,
so
so-
that's kind of cool.
Was there were always two versions, and then the American added a third? Is that what happened?
So there's Blank, which is white, there's Noir, which is black, and those are the two that
Okay.
exist. CL was 100% just in the American version.
Gotcha. Just double checking.
So, yeah. So it's kind of like Citramon and Bomber-Nanimon in Season 5 of Digimon. But it's kind of... I'm wondering if we got CL here because they know that it's a wider release, and it's being simulcast, and they want to
That's
release it.
Probably a good
Yeah.
point, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
You think
that's
so?
all I can think of.
Digimon is surprisingly popular in Brazil,
Huh.
and
You think Brazil would censor it, though?
I think they get the
historically,
English
yes.
release.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
And also, so there's the card game that's currently coming out, and in the most recent set, Noir was replaced by CL. So that was a worldwide release. In the Japanese version, it was Noir, but in the worldwide release, which is English, was CL. So it's kind of like it just continues. So I'm wondering if it was going to be Noir, but because they know that this is being simulcast and released worldwide, just so they don't have to worry about it
there's
not
also
getting
just a lot
released.
more fundamentalist Christians in charge of America right now than there were previously.
Yeah, but I just thought I'd explain to you why this is kind of wild that we're getting Seal, because again,
Yeah,
it's like getting Citramon.
I was thinking of the Mega Man XA episode that turned a bomb enemy into a giant orange juice that was going to explode and spill orange juice over the town if they didn't stop it in time.
Wasn't that Digimon though, or did
Was
Mega
that?
Man do it as well?
I thought Mega Man
yeah,
did
that-
it, but I could be remembering
No.
wrong.
That definitely happened. I'm not sure. I've not seen the Mega Man anime, but I know in season 5 of Digimon, it was Bomber-Nanimon was going to blow up this theme park that the characters were visiting for the day,
I think they may have both done the same thing then.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But look, in this
but
day and
anyhow.
age, a walking talking orange is actually scarier than a walking talking bomb. We know this now.
That's fair. Plus, at this point, TSA has made most of us numb to the idea of a bomb going off.
That's
It's better
sad.
than having to take off our shoes
And better than spilling orange juice on your shoes.
and getting patted down another... Anyhow.
Anyway, so yeah, there's my education corner. Do you have any thoughts
Just
about
this
my
one.
education corner?
Haha, it me. It's a neat little tidbit. I actually didn't know that it was just a U.S. exclusive release or whatever originally, so it's kind of neat to see it included here. I kind of like to think of it as just like a, oh, hey, this was just included because y'all wanted to censor us, but it's also not a bad design, so we just included it, and now it's canon or something like that. But
Yeah.
I definitely do also see just the whole, like, business angle of it, and that's probably more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just and I guess moving on to discussion and highlights, my highlight was the existence of CL and just
That's
I
fair.
love how crazy she is.
Yeah,
same.
she was wild and I was there for it.
Yeah, I didn't like any of the system was. I thought they were kind of a little bit boring. They're just nuns,
I don't know, I gotta tell
with
you,
guns.
the nun with a gun, especially Noir's awakened mode or whatever, is pretty sick.
It's literally just Bayonetta.
Oh yes.
I might
It's very
have to see
Bayonetta.
if Emery is willing to draw up some system on Noir, right?
Please.
So yeah, you're probably listening. Hey Emery.
Don't feel like you have to, but I'd be stoked if you did.
Exactly.
But this time Mario Kart Noir version. The Awakening
Yes.
was Mario Kart.
Yes,
It kind of was.
Yes, she did so much Mario Kart and made the right friends, and then became a goth with a gun
What a mood.
and a sword,
Yeah.
and just extremely gold.
So what were y'all highlights for this episode?
Be gay, do crime.
Yeah.
That was the plot.
I loved that we had a literal sword lesbian as the main antagonist / just wild card character.
She had no motivation, and you
Yeah.
know, I kind of wish she had, but it's fine.
She was.
I think
she just kind
I
of
think her
personified chaotic evil. Well, maybe not chaotic evil, but chaotic neutral.
no, I would say that she does have a motivation, but it's very much just a motivation of I want to win and be the strongest and fastest.
Well, yes, but she could do that without inviting someone to murder to enforce the arbitrary rules they didn't agree to.
I think she just wanted to chaos. She woke up that morning
Exactly.
and showed
That's
chaos.
evil.
She thought this
Yeah.
morning, I'm going to cause problems for no reason.
As did Jellymon by giving her that cart,
Absolutely.
which was
I
another highlight
wanna-
of mine.
Yep.
Look, I want to see a spin-off where it's just Jellymon and Systemon CL just causing
oh my
havoc,
God.
waking up, choosing crime
I would
every
watch
time.
that.
Yep.
I would watch
Yep.
the hell
Like
out of that.
Fried
like,
green
I-
tomatoes, but it's Sistermon, CL, and Jellymon.
Yeah,
Just
and also
being
was this the
older and
first
having
time?
more insurance.
Was this the first time we saw Digimon die in this season?
Did they? I thought they included one line of dialogue about being trapped in the scythe or whatever, but...
Yeah.
They
but
got absorbed.
where else are they going?
that was-
Yeah, admittedly, I sort of thought they were all going to come back as soon as we dealt with, what's his name? But
Metal Phantomon.
Metal Phantomon, but he's another one who just ran away, so I guess maybe we'll do that later.
Yeah.
You want to know my highlight? My main highlight?
What's that?
Hit me.
This episode broke the formula.
Kinda.
Yeah.
A little bit.
The Black Tailmon just solved everything, but it wasn't a talk, and it wasn't just necessarily the evil Digimon continuing to be evil.
Yeah,
So
it
that
wasn't a
was-
misunderstanding, and it wasn't necessarily a bad guys got away so much as a bad guys got distracted and decided to leave us alone.
Yeah, I will say it was kinda just evil continues to be evil. Phantomon's totally gonna keep murdering some of those Digimon. Just
Yeah,
not
but
here.
away. Yeah, probably not in the season. This episode was filler, but I feel like this was filler done right, as opposed to I think, was it the Siren one episode? We were kind of we said that it was filler that didn't, could be probably skipped. This episode was good filler. It was filler that I
Yeah,
didn't mind watching,
I
but it's
hope
definitely
that
filler.
the solution that the end of the episode is not going to be just fixed forever, because
Yeah, I hope there's more to that.
yeah, again, Metal Phantomon should just be an ongoing problem. On the other hand, from the next week on, it looks like we are going to follow up on some of those Digimon that keep wandering off. So
At least Clockmon.
Which is good.
yay!
Which is
plot.
I'm
I've
very
been
excited
looking
for that.
forward to plot.
Mm-hmm.
They disappointed
Yeah.
me a little by not having plot this week. Really.
I mean, at least we had Blacktailmon showing up and we learnt that there's a gate that goes somewhere that Blacktailmon has the power to summon.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me, is this the first time Blacktailmon has showed up? I can't remember.
In what do you mean in the whole
In-
franchise?
Well, in this series, I'm familiar with Blacktailmon.
Oh yeah, it appeared in the first episode.
Okay,
Okay. I don't remember that.
that's enough back that I had forgotten that bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's right. Yeah, it was the one that just like pointed to the VBs and then just left.
Okay,
Oh, right.
you can see why I forgot them.
Yeah,
but
no,
alright.
it was very much just it very much showed up and left.
So
and then it also did the
Dad's
same
partner,
thing.
We assume.
Yeah, or something like that. Or maybe they're doing a Detective Pikachu and the Blacktailmon is the dad.
I could be there for that.
Detective Pikachu spoilers, but also, yeah.
Look, I
Look,
watched
it's
the
been a while.
before I watched that
I was
movie,
joking.
I remember being in the theater and watching that trailer in the theater for Detective Pikachu, and I was like, the dad is Pikachu, and like I think even like it was long ago that like the trailer was on when I think I might have been with Jay still, and Jay was like, that's not gonna happen, and then it happened, and I was really proud. But yeah, it just seemed very obvious, and it also
I'm surprised
like
there hasn't been another movie in that universe yet.
There might have been.
I liked it.
I mean,
want more.
I won't say that I didn't like it. I'm just surprised I haven't seen like 8 more movies in that universe yet.
I think Pokemon has enough money. They don't need to like.
I don't believe
Stretch it
they
out.
believe in that concept.
I think they put out a couple more animated videos.
Anyhow,
There's a Netflix live action Pokemon apparently, but I'm not sure if I just dreamed that or not.
I think I heard someone say that, and then I immediately
not.
decided to never investigate.
Wow, I hadn't heard anything about that. I'm curious now.
Unless it was a collective like Mandela effect that's just a
Yeah.
really recently appearing one.
I could definitely believe that you convinced me this happened, but
I mean, for what it's worth, I hadn't heard anything about this until just now, so...
okay, maybe we're speaking it into existence.
take that
Netflix,
as you
get on
will.
it, I guess.
We're
Except
Mandela.
they're
We're
really pretty
no,
terrible people
y'all.
at Netflix, so no.
Y'all, we're Mondella affecting it. I try. Anyway, other highlights.
Berenstein Bearmon. I really... So, it was... Metal Phantomon was extremely extra, but I did kind of like a lot of the like early animations for when he was on screen.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, Metal
pretty
Phantomon,
sick.
just because he's just horror, but it's like the perfect amount of horror. I love it.
Sword
I love his
lesbian.
existence.
Sword lesbian
Oh, yes.
driving real fast against
yeah.
Ruri trying to drive real fast.
Yeah, I liked that this was basically a Ruri episode, and notably, Hero didn't really do much except get beaten in go-karts.
That being
He
said,
existed.
I do kind of wish that if we were going to give a Ruri is best at something episode, that it wasn't driving a go-kart and turning the wheel to maximum fastness. Because she really didn't seem to know how gas pedals work.
Look, maybe she was just shifting gears, but they edited that out for American audiences.
But, yeah. So, I guess that's a little bit of a low light, is the go-karts was bleh. But, yeah, I liked that it was a Ruri episode. I liked that it wasn't a Hero episode. Finally.
Jellymon was excellent this episode, too.
I liked that Gamamon didn't act like a toddler too much. That was, nice, to be honest.
Yeah, at least not as much as some of the other ones, and even then, it might have just been because he wasn't on screen that much.
Exactly. Like, I appreciated a break from Gamamon for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still like Gamamon, but I love Jellymon, and
Jellymon
I love
steals the
Ruri.
show. I'm a little sad that she's not paired with Ruri, because those two would be very, very good partners. Primarily because her partner, Ruri's partner, hasn't really done much yet.
Hopefully more.
Hopefully more. Because, yeah, Plot Coupon Mon could maybe, get an upgrade.
I swear to God, if Gamamon gets another evolution next episode before anyone else, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I have a feeling that I mean, I honestly thought that this week's episode was going to be his next evolution, because I was like 90% sure that in one of the clips in the preview for this episode there was like a silhouette, and it looked vaguely like the one of his evolutions. And I'll just, so y'all know I'm not going completely crazy, I will put I just did it. It was just this is just a thumbnail that I used for my predictions video, but I'm just posting it in chat so y'all can see that I'm not completely crazy, but it did look a bit like it. Vaguely. So I saw that the cannon horns and the tail. If you squint and have bad eyesight.
Yeah,
If you
we might have to talk about how things work.
That's a stretch in my book.
I honestly thought that it would be, and that's Wezengamamon in that. So I thought that it would have Wezengamamon in. His name is Wezengamamon. That's his name. Wezen.
Okay. Anyway,
and I thought that next episode would have his final adult evolution, and once they get all of those evolutions out of the way, then the other characters get to have their own evolutions. That's what I thought was happening, but now I have no idea.
I mean, that still might be what happens next week.
Yeah. I hope it's not, but
not like Rui got, an evolution this week. She got to win at go-karts, kind of briefly.
Well, I mean, this is a little bit of a prediction for next week, but the last time that we saw Clockmon, we had, like, a silhouette of a different Gamamon evolution over Gamamon's body as he was fighting Clockmon, when Clockmon did the increased time one.
Okay, so
I think that might be next week. Yeah, but it can still be good. I'm not
if they
saying
do it
it'll
well.
be
Bad, I just am excited for other characters to get to be important.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mom says it's my turn on the plot.
Mm-hmm.
It's my time to
turn
Shinka.
on the Digivolve. Yeah.
So, any other highlights?
Sword lesbian.
Yeah.
Then, if we don't have any other highlights, would you want to move to lowlights?
Sure.
Lowlights. So, this was, I guess, kind of just filler, I guess, but that's not really a lowlight because it was good filler. Mm-hmm. But it just sort of, in the same way that last episode, they kind of did some research to what was happening, and then they had the problem, and then they tried to fight, and then they were almost going to die, and then the problem just vanished.
Yeah, we're not quite doing Royal Knights level fight the same Digimon and lose 10 times, but we sure are basically losing a lot of fights, and that's fine, I guess, but I'm ready for us to move on to doing something other than encountering monsters of the week and making very little progress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same, but in general, I don't think I had that many lowlights for this episode. It wasn't an incredible episode. It wasn't as good as the other episodes that we've had for Ghost Game.
I think I'd have enjoyed it more if we'd subbed it in after doing some plot next week, you know what I mean? I was really looking forward to some plot, and then it, once like Chloe was saying to me before we started recording, once you accept that it is just filler and gonna be a fun little episode where nothing important happens, that's fine. It was good at what it wanted to be. I just wanted it to be something else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before Ghost Game came out, it was said that it was going to be more of an episodic kind of show where episode to episode you can kind of jump in at any point. There's not too much of a big advancement in plot. And as far as I remember, Atmon was sort of defined as the same sort of thing, where
Atmon really wasn't that. Not after about the first 15 episodes, because we started having major plot, and I imagine that's gotta be coming, because otherwise this is gonna be a real boring year.
Yeah, well, better than Adventure :
So far,
so good.
Yeah.
Any other lowlights?
I guess really my only one was just Quinn kind of touched on it earlier, in that it took me a couple minutes to realize that I wasn't supposed to take this episode seriously, and if you are the type of viewer who was wanting to take this seriously, you will probably really hate this episode, because a lot of things just happen that make no sense, but if you're just going along for the ride, going with the flow, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Especially just how, I wish we had a reason beyond
going the distance.
Yeah, and I wish that Sister Monsiel had a motivation for having summoned Metal Phantomon. That's
Yeah.
why it's just like, I'm better than you, so you might as well die.
Yeah, and then beyond that, Jellymon maybe should have asked literally any questions before giving the woman with a lot of crazy on her face a car.
Also, we're still I still don't quite get why the crashes were happening.
Yeah,
before...
why did she attack rando humans with a sword?
Yeah.
Because she wanted to.
I mean, I guess, but I wish that she'd had a motivation beyond causing problems for no reason. Or at very least that she'd have explained how much she likes causing problems for no reason.
Yeah, it just seemed like she was just a whirlwind that passed through, and we experienced her. But that's all.
Maybe she'll be back.
Yeah, I hope
Go-kart
so.
and tow.
She was kind of goals,
Yeah, maybe.
aesthetic goals in a way.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind having her back. But yeah, that's pretty much my only low light.
So we're done for lowlights?
I think so.
Yeah.
So, favourite characters?
Sistermon Ciel, hands down.
Yeah,
Quinn?
I gotta do the same.
You know what? That is fair. Mine was Jellymon,
That's
because
also
I had a feeling...
Very good.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from there.
Yeah, look, I kind of had a feeling that y'all would choose CL, so I chose Jellymon.
I see
Ruri
goals,
was also...
you know?
Yeah, I had a feeling. So I had to. It was either that or Ruri, which is also a good choice.
Ruri
but
is also a good choice, and yeah,
She deserves an honorable mention.
sure.
I want Jellymon and CL to just like wake up and choose chaos and crime every single time and just go and destroy the
Right?
the
I want
world.
to watch their equivalent of, the Buddy Cop series.
Right?
Between them.
Thelma and Louise.
Yes. Really, just give me Thelma and Louise, but it's those two. Oh my god.
Thelmon and Louise. Thank you for
that'd be
laughing
too
at that.
good.
I appreciate that. What about our ratings for this week's episode? I gave it a 3.5, which is the same I gave last week's episode, but
Yeah.
I like this one more than last week, I think.
That, you literally took the words out of my
Same.
mouth, yeah.
Are we just all agreeing on
I'm sorry,
this
yes.
series? Constantly we're just like last season with Colin, I feel like we were
Our tastes are too
occasionally it was similar, but like occasionally we would just jump like very different views, but this season we're just all like,
And we may get some of that as it goes along, but I do feel like it's hard to be super duper excited about this episode. It was fine, but at the end of the season, I don't know that anybody's going to point to it and go, God, that was my favorite episode.
yeah. So I guess are we all agreeing with the ranking as well? Because I put mine in third from bottom.
Oops, my bad. I'm looking at the wrong thing anyway.
Because I put mine in third from bottom. So I'm just seeing how much we agree.
Yeah, that sounds about right for me.
That tracks, yeah.
Okay, and I guess overall also third from bottom. So that's very easy to work out when we all agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do we have any miscellaneous thoughts other than just none with no gun?
Please
Give
have
her
a
another
follow-up.
sword.
Please have a follow-up episode where we get just 3 Sistermon.
Please.
Causing havoc.
Yes.
And Jellymon joins in. What if they're
Exactly.
like
Oh, she
part
would.
of like, what if they're part of like a girl gang? And Jellymon's part of it and she's just like an ex-member.
Yes.
I want
No, she joins up.
She becomes
Yeah.
a temporary member for the week.
Oh, I want to
She
see
and
that.
Ruri join up.
I want to see that.
Join them.
Yeah, Hiroshiro would join a gang. Because he's toony. I love him.
Yeah.
He's my son. I want to protect him.
But he wants
Like,
to be a
there's a-
greaser. He'll only join a gang if they promise to do musical numbers.
Yeah.
You're right.
But I think one of my look, I almost chose Kiyoshiro as my favorite because in one of the shots when all the other characters are on the go-karts, he's just sitting there like on his phone smiling when he's sitting on the bench. I'm just like,
Just having a grand old time.
I love my son. I will protect my Toonie son.
Yep.
God, I hope they go the entire series without ever revealing under the bandages. Just please keep making references.
I need to know.
Uh,
Even if it's in an epilogue, they better give me something by the end.
It's a sick Yakuza tat.
Right? Like, I would take it. I would take it.
Or if it's just got like random English letters scrawled like tattooed on him like lettuce.
He's got his master's degree. You know, it turns out he designed some bio implants for
No,
himself.
okay, so here's what happened. He fell asleep at a college party and people drew all over his arm, but he figured that, you know, instead of washing it off, he could just cover it up and look badass at the same time while doing it because he's chuny as hell. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, he's got seals on his arm, but the seals are actually all
you're
just seal.
close. The difference is they got him drunk and then he got a tattoo.
Quite possible.
Now that we're done discussing the episode, let's go over some pondering predictions and Postmon Pat. So first of all, comments from the last episode that we did, which was episode 7, which was the one where we were separated because I was sick and recorded later, and Quinn and Chloe picked up the slack for me, which I was very appreciative of, so thank you.
No worries.
So the comments we got was first up from Sliss says they're always happy to see a Digimon Data Squad Digimon. That was just too many Ds for me, and usually I don't complain about that.
Yeah, that is some significant alliteration.
Yeah, that was the first Digimon series they saw as a kid. They've been listening to the podcast for a while, and Quinn has complained a lot about capitalism, so they're wondering what that she'd prefer, communism, socialism, or Marxism, and they say, sorry, they don't know much about the stuff, they're just curious.
So I guess to the degree that I ascribe to any specific political philosophy,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Give an unironic answer, go ahead, it's good.
I am a member of the Pirate Party, which generally believes in the free exchange of information, as well as being at least loosely socialist communist. I don't particularly believe that the means of production should be privately owned, which is why all of my inventions will be released open source and such.
That's pretty cool. That's cool.
So, yeah, that's me.
Coolios. So, next we have TGS, who says that episode 7 was a 3 out of 5. They like the whole episode mostly, with the highlight being Klaus Gammamon evolving due to the need to fly, and adding the blue chain to the evolution sequence. Yada Garamon just leaving was anticlimactic, and I think that they left since it was more of a neutral Digimon, and it didn't really want to bother with fighting who was put with Klaus Gammamon because they were putting up an actual fight, but wish that they explained that more. They're guessing that they're going to have an evolution arc with Gammamon that will end with him dark evolving. They mentioned it's unheard of to have a Digimon de-evolve so naturally, so they wonder if that's a setup for them not evolving right off and focusing on Gammamon, and the other partners will evolve once Dark Gammamon is resolved. And yet that's sort of the feeling I'm getting, honestly. Like, if we know that Gammamon has one other normal evolution, which is Wes and Gammamon from the opening credits, and also another adult level Digimon, which is a silhouette in the opening credits. And I mean, I know who it is because it's on the Vital bracelet, but it's kind of like another adult. So, gee, Gammamon, why does Hero let you have 4 adult evolutions? Kind of like that.
Yep.
But
Before
that's
anyone
kind of
else gets any.
Yeah, which I guess if we're doing like a Hero quote-unquote arc and having him get all his evolutions, and then we have a longer arc for each of the kids,
Yeah,
and they only have the one, I guess.
we're gonna get Taichi being the main character again. I mean, Hero's better because the lockpicks were pretty sick, but we sure did be gay and do crime again this
that was
week.
a forgotten highlight, yeah.
Yeah, that was a forgotten highlight.
I forgot my highlight was the fact that not only does Hero do the lockpick again, but Kiyoshiro says that it's an analog skill because he's a hacker, and that was just I completely forgot about that.
Like, most people who I know who can pick locks are also programmers, so like, come on.
Yeah, and also like I think I said it in the first episode that like this was, or maybe it was on the Discord, but we were talking about how like I always thought that it was normal for like teenagers to know how to lockpick because a lot of people my age did, but I think that just might be an Australian thing because we're all convicts. Because apparently, like, everyone said, like, that's not a normal thing for, like, 13-year-olds to do. I'm like, it's not? Everyone I knew had, like, one of those, like, lockpick kits that you can just get from the internet or the store.
The slightly dodgy stores, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Same,
so,
Grandpa kind of encouraged that because it's a, like, useful skill that kind of trains your mind a little bit. It's neat.
Fair.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but I was too much of a dweeb to... I was like, oh no, that's scary. I don't think my mother would approve.
No. See, I didn't do it because I'm too...
approve, but...
I don't think my mom would care. But...
I don't know.
Live your
mom's
dreams,
kind of a
Chloe.
herb.
She's kind of a herb. See the
But
story in if you're a Patreon subscriber on the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
I was too impatient to do it. Like, it required me to be patient and to pay attention, and I'm too impulsive for that kind of skill.
That's fair.
I don't know. But anyway, next we have Andrew, who says the ep was fly high for them, but they're 7 episodes in. They hope to see the turning point soon. Maybe episode 13, and maybe the cast gets isekai'd to the digital world. I mean, next up they'll see lots of Digimon in the Yokai Festival, like an anime. Like in episode 8, they're referring to how a lot of Digimon are showing up, but no, we're not in the digital world yet, but hopefully soon.
And yeah, most of those Digimon didn't really do much, but that was fine.
They got
We
died.
did get some different ones at least.
Well, we at least addressed that there's a Black Tailmon can make a portal gate to the digital world, and I'm assuming that's how we're going to get there.
I would think so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And lastly, we have Digital Hazard, who says they kinda loved that Yatagaramon doesn't speak. They enjoyed the battle, especially since there seemed to be no feasible way it would end with a mutual agreement. Then he just left. Felt kinda bad for the guy. The local police are going to want to chat to him. So yeah, I kind of felt bad for the Birdman.
Birdman.
Somebody said that he looked like the YouTuber Critical, and now I can't unsee it.
I don't know who that is,
Couldn't-
I
yeah.
don't want to.
Big move.
He used to do a bunch of weird games in a really monotone voice like this, and it was all really funny. And the thing about him was he would donate all the monetization to charities, and he would and all he did was on Twitter would he just post proof that that's where the monetization goes. However, a few years ago he got he had a Snapchat, and he revealed that he's actually really attractive. So he started showing his face and everything, and now he lives in a mansion and unboxes Pokemon cards or something. I don't know.
So how does he live in a mansion if he gave all the money away to...
Oh, I think he no longer gives it to charity. Is what I'm thinking. Or he has Twitch now, and he gets. I think he mentions just on Twitch alone he gets 70 grand a month or something,
Don't be surprised.
which is
Nice work if you can get it.
yeah. But it's a lot. But yeah, he revealed that he was a good-looking dude, and that was I don't know. I kind of preferred him, as attractive as he is, and how much I like looking at him. I think I preferred him when he was just a faceless guy on the internet
Someone
playing
just
these.
actually doing a good thing.
Well, generally, yeah, when someone turns out to be an asshole, I tend to like them before they became an asshole.
I don't think he's an asshole now. We all just know he's attractive.
I
Now.
disagree, but okay.
Yeah, if he makes $70,000 a month streaming things and no longer donating to charity, I don't have a lot of respect.
I don't know if he doesn't give it to charity or not anymore, but he does. He used to give 100% of it to charity, but now
That's
I
what I
don't
meant.
know. Yeah.
Anyway,
But
we
in
can
any
talk
case-
about
Yep.
how, it's sort of
Influencer
corrupt to
Society's
begin
the worst.
monetization and game the algorithm on the basis of alleged charity and then pivot to making all the money. But anyway,
So that's it for Postmon. Pat, do we have any thoughts about the series so far, about the direction it's going in now that we have seen a preview for episode 9 and looks like we're getting maybe a little bit of plot as a treat?
I'm glad to see that we're actually going back to things that happened earlier.
yeah.
It gives me hope and sustenance.
Please let there be factions, etc. Faction life, please.
Ani Mimosa.
Faction, da da. That song
Exactly.
is constantly in my head. I love it so
it's a
much.
bop.
It is a bop. This show is just. I mean, I'm still loving this show. I think that the episodes have kind of I guess, averaged out in terms of they're not always oh, this was the best episode ever. They're kind of just okay.
But
But
it's a
I don't think we
pretty
can
high,
go-
okay average so far. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still
But I would like to
I
have
don't-
any idea where the hologram coasts are coming from or why they exist.
Yeah, I mean, I like that they've kind of shown that Gamamon can just appear physically while the others can't, because he can kind of be said that he's just a regular hologram AI character, but Jellymon and Angoramon are just too out there to be that, I guess.
Is that a thing?
That was not the impression I got for it, because I
Well-
thought they could all just turn them invisible whenever the hell they
Yeah, I
wanted.
thought it was
Yeah,
just a
but
button on the digivice.
Yeah, but Gamamon's not
Oh,
all the
you
others
mean,
are
social
transparent.
convention wise.
Yeah, he's Jellymon and Angoramon are still transparent, and Gamamon is
Yeah, but, like, Jellymon
Like, physical.
absolutely could just ride along as a plushie.
She wouldn't, though. You know
Yeah.
she wouldn't be able to stop talking.
That's fair. But yeah, like,
Yeah, she doesn't
absolutely
shut up.
could, she just doesn't.
Yeah. Whereas Angoromon being that huge, I guess I could see. where
Yeah,
you're coming
yeah.
from.
He's like the IKEA bear.
Yeah, but
Gordorf,
I
or
think
whatever
if you
it's
take
called.
him on the subway, you might get some looks. Or at very least, he has to pay for an extra seat.
No, he's just he's my boyfriend. He's just very hairy.
Okay, so I do think you gotta pay for an extra seat at that point.
Yeah. Did Digimon fair evade? Is that the crime that they do? Is that the most common Digimon crime?
It's probably the most common Digimon crime, followed by
Damage, collateral damage,
Well, there was collateral damage, and then I was gonna say hitchhiking.
indecent exposure.
There is some of that.
Depends on. I don't want to continue that thought.
Yeah, in the dub,
Yeah.
there's a good bit of sexual harassment, but not always.
That was a good sound.
Thank you.
Anyhow,
so-
I don't know what we were talking about anymore.
We were just talking about overall thoughts, so I guess we can move on to predictions for the next episode. So episode 9 is called Warped Time, and it seems to be like focusing on like how the flow of times, and we have Clockmon showing up again, so that's kind of cool that we get Clockmon back.
Yeah, I'm excited for Clockmon to come back. I'm excited for Clockmon to hopefully narrate some plot at me.
I'm excited for us to do the time warp again.
I hope we don't get clockblocked.
That was pretty
Yay.
That was pretty bad.
bad. Well done.
Bad/good.
Oh,
Yep. Yep, well done.
Alright everyone, so thanks for listening to our thoughts on episode 8, and you can join us next time for episode 9, Warped Time. The link dump is linked in the description, and so is our Redbubble, and you can contact us and stay updated, and if you hear crying in the background, it's just my little puppy dog. I think Brady is upstairs, and Freya is not handling that idea, so if you hear crying, it's just my little baby puppy. So you can email us and send us spam to LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment on this episode on our website, LostinTranslationmon.com, or on this episode on YouTube. And you can follow us on @TranslationMon on Twitter, and you can also find us on Lost in Translation on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. I'm at Digimon_Hero on TikTok, and that's hero spelt the weeb way, HIRO. And of course, I stream on twitch.tv/translationmon sometimes, and I made a pretty cool overlay, and I really want to use it, but I just haven't had time to do a Twitch because I'm too busy talking
Doing a
about
job.
Tamagotchis on YouTube. And
Also
also,
that.
the dog is now really not liking the fact that we're upstairs. Anyway,
hearing the barking.
so yeah, she has big bark for little puppy. So anyway, you can chat with us at the Lost. That wasn't even a word. I said us on and at the same time. Us on the Lost in Translation on Discord server, and we'd appreciate if you review us on Apple Podcasts or any podcast catcher that you use if it allows reviews. And if I see it, I'll read it out. And if I don't see it, please let me know so I can read it out on the podcast. And you can also donate to me on Patreon, and that's linked in the description, from as little as $1 a month. And that gets you access to the Patreon-only areas of our Discord server, but there are higher levels, more rewards such as notes, unedited episodes, and early episodes, and of course more, so check that out. And of course, thank you to the current supporters on Patreon, Joe, Stephen Reeves, who is Wild164 on Archive Our Own, Kadawashi, Chisai, who can follow on Twitter at Chisai236, Neobu, who says you should follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236, Kyle, Lismet, who is Elecmon on Tumblr, Nicholas, Sam, Emery from Gone While Hunting, a Hunter x Hunter Rewatch podcast, Magnus, Lucas, JaSimon05, Patrick, Jason, Great Nuki, J. David, Shelby, Digital Hazard, and Dedicated Gazi. You can also make a one donation on PayPal, which can be found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/Edgemon, and you can also donate to me on my Coffee account, which is ko-fi.com/Airdra. I'm May, and of course I was joined by the lovely Quinn and the lovely Chloe this time. And Quinn, can we find you anywhere this week?
Nope.
Nope. And Chloe, can we find you anywhere?
I mean, I'm on the Discord. I'm out and about.
We're all out and about.
Yeah.
So of course, thank you to the listener for listening in. And I guess we will see y'all next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.